Darren. We will get to the two-tier police and justice system shortly, but first, 3 white police officers have won their racial discrimination case against Thames Valley Police after a judge ruled they were unfairly passed over for promotion because of their race. A superintendent at the force was told to improve diversity among senior staff by appointing an Asian sergeant to the rank of detective inspector, despite being warned about the legal risks of not holding a competitive process. The sergeant had not even reached the rank of inspector before they were put in this senior role, Darren. And finally, some accountability for these DEI policies.
Absolutely, yes. And ultimately, Rita, when it comes to the police force, that is putting people at risk, right? That is putting people in positions and promoting them at a time when perhaps they aren't worthy for promotion. Those who had been passed up for the role, actually passed up is putting it too lightly, blocked from applying for the role. They had been there 19 and 26 years. That's a long time to build up experience in a role as difficult as frontline policing, to actually build up the skills and capabilities to understand what a police force actually needs. And they're told, well, because of the colour of your skin, no thanks, matey. Now, I don't know about you, Rita, but I was brought up to believe that that was a thing called racism, right? And this DEI needs to die because it ultimately is racism and it's putting us all at risk.
It is blatant racism. It's systematic institutional racism. The left love talking about institutional racism until it actually exists and they ignore it or promote it. Now, let's talk about this clash between Humza Yousaf and Elon Musk. They're in a war of words. It's getting pretty ugly. This was a fairly extraordinary attack, if you ask me, from the former First Minister of Scotland. He called Musk one of the most dangerous men on the planet, and he also tweeted on Musk's own platform that he is a dangerous race baiter who must be held to account for his actions. Darren, it seems a little bit rich for him to be calling anyone else a race baiter. Yousaf's going to be remembered for that infamous white men speech.
Well, absolutely, yes. And I mean, of course, Scotland, Elon Musk pointed this out, Scotland being a majority white country that has given Humza Yousaf so very much in his life. He was made the top job, he was given the top job in that whole entire land. Now, what really gets me about Scotland in particular is that this is a country that is one of the drug capitals of Europe. It has really quite low numeracy and literacy skill sets. And yet we're focusing on the whiteness of people's skin as if there's nothing more important to be getting on with within a country like Scotland. I think he is actually one of the most divisive politicians to ever come out of that nation. I think Elon Musk is absolutely right to call him out on that. And that actually the 2 stories that we've already discussed today, I think go to the very heart of the problem that is rampant throughout the West. It isn't just isolated to the United Kingdom. This is this kind of pernicious ideology that is racist in its fundamentals is actually driving a wedge between ethnic groups. And Rita, I think it's partly responsible for the unrest that we've seen on the streets recently. And I worry that that's going to get worse and worse if the kind of divisive, really quite awful politician like Humza Yousaf actually manages to win the argument. He said he's going to leave Britain, Rita. I tell you what, I know a fair few people that'll chip in a few bob here and there to actually help that, get off the ground, that flight off the ground.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.